رفع شكوى ضد أهلية المحكمة وعدم دستورية محاكمة النائب الأول الموقوف بحجة أن مواد 103 104 من الدستور الانتقالي القومي لجنوب السودان لا يسمح بذلك، ولكن هيئة الادعاء رفض ذلك الأمر وأشار أن رغم دمج اتفاقية السلام في الدستور الانتقالي إلا أن المواد 103 لم يعدل في تعديل الأخير عام 2020، ولذلك لا يعطي يعني حصانة للنائب الأول لرئيس الجمهورية وغيرهم من النواب، يعني حصانة كحصانة الرئيس في الدستور الانتقالي. يعني جلسة يوم أمس كان بالأساس لتقديم الرد المكتوب من قبل هيئة الادعاء، وبالفعل المحكمة تسلمت الرد المكتوب من قبل هيئة الادعاء، وطلب أن يعطى مهلة لليوم لكي يتم دراسة الشكوى ودراسة الرد المكتوبين من قبل هيئة الاتهام وهيئة الدفاع. فنحن في قاعة الحرية اليوم نتوقع أن يأتي القضاة الثلاثة بقيادة البروفيسور جيمس ألالا لكي نستمع إلى نتيجة ما تم التواصل إليه من خلال دراسة الورقتين، والورقة المقدمة من قبل هيئة الدفاع وأيضا الرد المكتوب من قبل هيئة الادعاء. نحن سنكون معكم في بث مباشر من داخل قاعة الحرية، ومن خلال الملاحظة العامة في إطار تغطياتنا داخل قاعة الحرية نلاحظ أن اليوم يشهد قاعة الحرية ازدحام جميل أو تدافر جميل من قبل المتابعين لوقائع هذه الأحداث، وأيضا للمهتمين خاصة المحامين، يعني الذين يعملون في الحقل القانوني، هم داخل القاعة ويدرسون هذه القضية التي يعتبر فريدة من نوعها والأول من نوعها في جنوب السودان، يتم فيه محاكمة كبار مسؤولين في الدولة بتهم كهذه. وكما ذكرت سابقا أن التهم الذي وجه لهؤلاء المتهمين تهم تتعلق بالتآمر ضد الدولة، تمويل الإرهاب، وتدمير الممتلكات العامة والعسكرية. ومن بين هذه التهم نريد أن نرى أهلية هذه المحكمة بعد أن يعلنها قضاة المحكمة. هذه محكمة تسمى المحكمة الخاصة، كونت من قبل رئيس الهيئة القضائية حسب القانون قانون الإجراءات القانونية للقضائية جنوب السودان للعام 2008 الذي يعطي الحق لرئيس الهيئة القضائية كي يكون المحكمة الخاصة في النظر في مثل هذه المحاكمة. نعم، بشكل بسيط أيضا الآن نرى في شاشاتنا اليوم الآن هيئة الدفاع يلقي التحية لهيئة الادعاء في جو ودي جميل. الأمر لا يتعلق بمرارة القلب ما شابه ذلك، لكن هي صراع قانوني، والقانون هو الذي سيحكم على كل شيء. نعم، عرض بسيط لما جرى في اليومين السابقين، ونحن في بث مباشر من قاعة الحرية هنا في جوبا، مقر الذي حدد لإجراء هذه المحاكمة تحت إدارة المحكمة الخاصة. نعم، قضاة هذه المحكمة لا يأتون من أي محكمة أخرى، بل هم من المحكمة العليا، وهذه المحكمة مسؤول منه رئيس الهيئة القضائية، وهو المنوط بتعيين هؤلاء القضاة للنظر في مثل هذه القضايا. هيئة الدفاع رفع عدد من الشكاوى، من بينها أن أحداث الناصر يجب أن يحال أو يجب أن يقدم لمحكمة الحجين المنصوص في الاتفاقية المنشطة، ويجب أن ينظر أو يقدم لعدد من الهيئات خاصة الإيجاد، الاتحاد الأفريقي وغيرها من الضامنين للاتفاقية، ويجب أن ينظر في ذلك الأمر. هيئة الادعاء قال أن هذه ادعاء لا أساس لها من الصحة، لأن الدولة ذات السيادة و لديها قانون خاص يحكمها، فبالتالي المحكمة القضائية أو قضائية جنوب السودان هي المنوط بمحاكمة هؤلاء، وأن حادثة ناصر لا تتعلق بما حدث في العوام السابقة قبل عقد اتفاقية سلام المناشطة. نعم، نعود للزملاء لكي يواصلوا في بقية ما تبقى من التعليق.
Thank you so much, Martin, for giving our people this full information about the court and its proceedings for the benefits of our people and our citizens who are in Arabic, who are getting their informations in Arabic. Viewers and listeners of SSBC, we are still here continuing with this live broadcast from inside the Freedom Hall in Juba, in this special court, looking into the case of the accused 8 persons on the Nasir incident. Everybody inside the court has taken his or her place. The court is just waiting for the arrival of the judges so that the proceedings for today will continue. And as the presiding judge said yesterday, that this court is open to the public and to the media as well. That is why in today's attendance, the number of the public or the people have really increased from yesterday. And the other thing also to bring to the attention of the viewers and listeners of SSBC, that the media houses, the other media houses are also today in the room. Today is not only SSBC who is covering this special court or the proceedings of this court, but other media houses have also been allowed to cover the court, as the presiding judge announced yesterday. As I said, there are 8 accused persons, and the lead accused is Puot Kang, the suspended Minister of Petroleum, plus 8 others. A bit of background on Puot Kang. Puot Kang is a South Sudanese national born in Nasir County, Upper Nile State. He is married. He completed his primary school in Dima refugee camp in Ethiopia and attended Kiba Secondary School in Ethiopia. Puot Kang was trained at Cavendish University in Kampala, Uganda, and graduated with a bachelor degree. Before joining the Splm IO, Puot Kang was the executive director for Anne Itolia Nardo, the then Deputy Secretary General of the Splm, in 2010 in the then Southern Sudan. Puot Kang became the Director of Membership and Recruitment Affairs of the Splm office. When the conflict broke out in 2013, Puot Kang, along with some Splm members, fled the country and later joined the Splm IO under the leadership of Dr. Riek Machar Teny, and was then appointed as the leader of the Splm IO Youth League. After the signing of the revitalized peace agreement in 2013, Puot Kang returned to Juba and was appointed as the Minister of Petroleum in the revitalized Transitional Government of National Unity. In March 2025, Puot Kang was arrested in Juba for unspecified charges in the Nasir incident, and he is today seated at the courtroom along
Yes, viewers of SSBC, from wherever you're tuning in, as you're still watching us live, as you've been seeing our colleagues down at the courtroom, Freedom Hall, been giving update on what is transpiring there. We've been just expecting in few seconds to come, the 3 panel of judges will be arriving, the presiding over judges will be arriving at the venue, and immediately the court session will commence effectively. Of course, viewers, this is the 3rd day of the court session of the suspected Puot Kang and 7 other opposition members that include Dr. Riek Machar, who happened to be actually in this case due to the fact that in March this year, there was incident that happened in Nasir that culminated to what happened today. And let's start by looking back to or highlight on the second day. Yesterday, of course, was the second day of the court proceeding, and during the courtroom, which is presided over by the Justice Dr. James Alala Deng, the court began formally with the introduction of the number of advocates from both sides, the prosecution team as well as the defense team, and the 8 accused. And today, of course, with yesterday's move that was taken by the presiding over Judge Dr. James Alala, he had actually opened the court to public, because he said it is important for public to be part and parcel of this unique event. And you can see today from our viewers, as you've seen our reporters down at the courtroom, they have relayed to you, they have shown you how much the courtroom today is very full. Freedom Hall is full, and that alone shows, this is what we call the partiality and the credibility that the government has been saying, that this court process will be credible to people of South Sudan. They will be hearing everything that is happening in the courtroom. And SSBC, through our YouTube channel, that is SSBC Official, we are also streaming live, and we are streaming live on all our radio stations as well as the TV station for those who are able to, access, get your phone, log into YouTube, SSBC Official, you'll be watching. As you could see, the accused are already at the courtroom. We are saying that we have 8 accused, and the first suspect is Puot Choul, led by the rest who are including Dr. Riek Machar. The courtroom, of course, we have 3 panel of presiding over judges, of which we are waiting for them. They will be coming shortly. We have 3 judges from the Supreme Court who are assigned to carry out this task. This includes Justice Dr. James Alala Deng, the presiding over judge. Then we have Justice Stephen Simon, and we have Justice Isaac Pur Majok. These are some of the juries who are given this task to ensure that they accomplish this important task. And the other thing is, viewers, we have 4 consul generals in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs who are members of the prosecution team. 4 consul generals who happen to be part and parcel of the courtroom. Then we have 7 advocates who are members of the prosecution panel, led by the prosecution panel. It will be led by Maulana or Advocate Deng Achwil Adija, who is also a member of Council of Generals in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Then we have 2 investigators who are from the police. These are the people who actually carried out some of this investigation that led to some of the charges that we have been actually relayed to, or which were read previously by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, among which including treason, murder, and terrorism, among others. These are some of the fact that due to the 2 investigators who carried out this effective work. The other thing is that we have 1 complainer who is from National Security, Internal Security Bureau, and he is a complainer. He is part and parcel of this courtroom. We have 6 advocates. These are the defense team representing the team of Dr. Riek Machar Teng and the 7 other accused, and led by Dr. Gary Raimondo Lege, who is actually the lead team of the defense team. Then we have 8 accused, including number 1, the first suspect is Puot Choul, the second is Mompal, then the third is Gadwich Lampoth. We have Lieutenant General Gabriel Doplam. We have Dr. Riek Machar is suspect number 5, according to the list filed by the case. We have number 6 is Brigadier General Camilo Gatmai. Then we have number 7, Mading Riek Yak, and then number 8 in the list of the suspect is Dominic Gatkok Riek. Some of the few quotations that we will read to you from the Legal Justice and Rules of Law from various scholars across the globe. For example, a scholar like John Locke once said that, and I quote, "The end of the law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom," and that is the end of the quote. The second thing is, the case on a trial is basically a structural process where the facts of the case are presented to the jury, and they decide if the defendant or the accused is guilty or not guilty of the charges offered. This is what will happen as we continue, because as now, up to now, viewers, the court is still establishing its session, is still establishing itself. It is both from the prosecution team and the defendant team. The defendant team were saying that they wanted some bit of jurisdiction and so on and so forth. They cited some legalities in the process, but then also the prosecution team, as from yesterday, managed to write full detail of the report submitted to the presiding over judge, Dr. James Alalab, and copy was also handed over to the defense team, defending their ground that this court process is legal, and the court process and the court established, the special court has the jurisdiction to be able to try the case at hand, the case of the 8 accused who happen to be, as you could see them on the TV, they're already on the ground, they are in the courtroom awaiting the presiding over judges. It is also essential that justice is done, and it is equal vital that justice is not should not be confused with revenge. The two are wholly different. Therefore, our people must allow, our South Sudanese must allow the law to take its course, but not to think it is a revenge. We all have to make sure and adhere. As today you've seen, viewers, number of people turn up. This shows that the case at hand, it is the public has to go and listen and hear what is happening. And then as they judges, or the judge also has to preside over this case to ensure, at the end of the day, law or rule of law has to take its course. What does it mean? It means that if the suspected individuals are found to be innocent, they will be free. And if they are found to be guilty, it depends on the process, as we cannot judge, and it is upon the defending team and the prosecution team, as well as presiding 3 panel of judges who are competent, of course, who are competent, and they can be able to lead the process until the end. You could see some of the viewers, some of the pictures that is actually at Freedom Hall right away, where you're seeing a number of the prosecution team as well as family members, because the court is open, and you could see them all gathering. They are waiting just in a few seconds for the juries or the 3 panels of judges to arrive. Then the session, that is the 3rd session of the court proceeding of suspected Puot Kang Choul and the 7 other Splm members, it starts immediately. And of course, viewers, we say that this process, it has to be transparent. SSBC is relaying this process live. We don't do record. We are doing it live, and it is live on the ground, and it is live on our YouTube channel. For those who are having phones, just log into SSBC Official on YouTube. You will get us streaming live. And those who are having and Facebook account, also those who are having Facebook, log into SSBC Official. You'll also find us live. So we don't do anything undercover. We do it as being directed by the leadership and by the presiding over judge. As you've heard yesterday from Dr. Justice James Alala, he said this court proceeding has to be for public consumption. That means public must know, and the government must know what is happening. It's an independent process that we do believe that it is an independent process that has to go all the way. No matter how much it's going to take, it has to reach the end. And this is what SSBC is committed, and they ensure, the management of SSBC is committed to ensure the process goes up to the end, and the court proceedings and the end of the day is that either the suspect are proven to be guilty or they're proven to be innocent. That is now what is not in the hand of SSBC, but it is in the hand of the presiding over judges. With that, viewers, we will be saying in a few while, we are expecting to see the arrival of the 3 panel of judges. As I've said in the beginning, the panel of judges, of course, they are represented by Justice, that is Dr. James Alala, who happened to be the one presiding over this event. And we have some of his co-justice, or some of the juries who are supporting him, Justice Stephen Simon. And then we have Justice Isaac Poor Majok. Then we have 4 members of council generals in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. We have 7 advocates who are representing the prosecution panel led by Advocate Deng Achwil Adija, and then we have also 2 investigators from the prosecution side. Then don't forget we have also 6 team representing the advocates who are on the defense side. These are 6, headed by none other than Dr. Gary Raimondo. And today, of course, they will be sitting together and hear the reply, because we said yesterday there was a reply that is written, submitted to the jury, to the presiding over judge, and also copy was given to the defense team. This alone, it is on the establishment of the special court. As we speak, we have not yet opened the case. The cases level against the 8 accused has not yet been opened. But few minutes from now, as soon as the court or the presiding over judges now accept all the claims that are being raised or put across by the 2 sides, then the process can kick out immediately. Viewers, I will connect you back to my colleague at Freedom Hall, and let's see if the panel of the judiciary or the judges arrived, then we can start. Stay tuned, continue to watch us. As we said, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook. Just log in SSBC Official, and you get us streaming live. Let's connect to our colleague at Freedom Hall. As you could see, the suspected individuals are already at the courtroom, and the courtroom, of course, today is full, accessible to public, to members of public, provided that you adhere to the rules and regulations of the courtroom. You could see Freedom Hall today is different from the first day. This alone, to those who are doubting, who are saying, no, the courtroom is not going to be fair, it's not going to be... Now you could see by yourself. It is live, and nobody does any editing on the live coverage. So let's connect to my colleague. We have down on the courtroom, we have my colleague, Matiang Joseph, we have Mori, and we have also Leila Osman, and we have Martin Justin Kose. These are some of the SSBC crew who are covering from there. Let's get to them and hear more.
Allowed, and the public as well. So long that if you are South Sudanese having the nationality, you can move to the court premises to take part in the proceedings. These were the words stated by the presiding judges yesterday during the adjournment of the proceedings until today. The proceedings are still at the early stages. Defense team and prosecution team is still arguing how the court should proceed. The bigger point here is immunity. The defense argued that the first vice president cannot be prosecuted, but the prosecution counted that immunity applies only to president, not to other office holders. In their view, no political position should shield an individual from accountability. On the question of the revitalized peace agreement, the prosecution stresses that while a hybrid court is planned, national courts retain full competence to try serious crimes under domestic law. They framed these as both a matter of sovereignty and of justice not being delayed. So in summary, the prosecution's message is clear. The court has the power. The accused has no immunity. The South Sudan, as sovereign nation, has got its laws, the law of the land, to try serious crime. So the court proceedings are expected to commence as the presiding judges arrive to the venue. From now, let me hand over the microphone to Leila Osman, the only lady among the men covering this live.
Yeah, thank you, Martin Joseph. Actually, it's not the only women. I think there's some female journalists from other media houses, so I'll need to correct you for that. I'm not the only female doing the coverage here. So actually, thank you, Martin, and my colleague Peter Mori, Martin Kose, for the updates. Just as a reminder of what is happening, actually, regarding the case, as of September 2025, the most prominent high-profile trial in South Sudan is against Puot, Kang, Choul, the suspended Minister of Petroleum, and 7 other political and military officials. The group is accused of treason, murder and crimes against humanity in connection with an attack in Nasir in March 2025. Just a reminder again about the suspect that is Puot Kang, aged 40, according to order. And then Mampal is aged 27. A businessman, and then Gatwish Lam, a member of parliament, aged 66 years, and Lieutenant General Gabriel Doplam, deputy chief of the SSPDF, and aged 53 years. Then followed by Dr. Riak Masharteng, who is in fifth position in the according to the judgment procedures. The suspended first Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, who is 73 years old. We have in number 6, Brigadier Camilo Gatmichael, Head of Administration and Finance, Transitional National Security Committee, aged 47. Then we have number 7, Madin Yakriak, a signal personnel radio operator, aged 45 years, followed by the 8th suspect, that is Dominic Gatcock, Riak, a generator operator in the office of the suspended first Vice President, who is aged 57. Just maybe a reminder again about the charges. The charges are as a result of the March 2025 Nasir incident, where the White Army Militia overran a South Sudan People's Defense Forces, SSPDF base. The attack resulted in over 250 deaths, including senior SSPDF officers. The government alleges the 8 accused are allies of the suspended first Vice President, Dr. Riak Masharteng. For more update, as we've maybe in regard to what is happening in the courtroom is full actually compared to day 1 and 2, and the situation looks a little bit calm from observance within the hall. And I'll hand you over to my colleague Peter Mori to give you more update.
Thank you so much, my colleague Leila Osman. I just need to give our listeners and viewers of SSBC a summary about the issue of immunity of the first Vice President. According to Article 103 concerning immunity, it says, the President shall be immune from any legal proceedings and shall not be charged or sued in any court of law during his or her tenure of office. Notwithstanding sub-article 1 above, in case of high treason, gross violation of this Constitution, or gross misconduct in relation to national affairs, the President may be charged before the Supreme Court upon a resolution passed by a 2/3 majority of all members of the Assembly. The President of the Supreme Court shall, within 7 days after receipt of the impeachment notice referred to Article 2 under sub-article 2 above, constitute a tribunal comprising 3 judges of the Supreme Court to evaluate the allegation in the notice and to report its findings to the Constitutional Panel of the Supreme Court. The President shall be entitled to appear at the proceedings of the tribunal and to be represented by a lawyer or other expert or any other person of his or her choice. If the Constitutional Panel convicts the President, it shall communicate its final verdict to the Assembly, and he or she shall be deemed to have forfeited the office. If the notice for the removal of the President is on the grounds of mental infirmity or physical incapacity, it shall be based on a report submitted to the Assembly by a medical board consisting of qualified and eminent specialists from the Medical Commission in respect